Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ness River Railroad. First update for 2024. I put a little video up the other day of just some of my coal train running for something completely different. But here we are. I actually haven't got any build progress to show you guys. It's summertime here, and yeah, it's actually been pretty mild so far here, very wet for summer. And yeah, I've been doing other stuff on the property and things like that. So I've been sneaking in the train room to run trains. I've done that a fair bit, but I haven't been doing any building. But that may all be about to change. So that's what this update today is about. I have been running some trains today as well, so I've just taken some footage of that. Actually, I do want to talk about one of those or two of those things after we'll talk about what I'm going to do with the actual layout. So there's a bit to talk about, I guess, now I think about it. All right, I'll stop the intro and we'll get into it. Cheers. Okay, everyone. So the big thing I want to talk about today is this area along here, this return loop, which works fine, and this area here. And what I'm thinking about is actually that big empty space there, okay? So in other parts of the layout, up that end, I've got that wide enough just so I can walk through there, okay? And there's a little bit of space around here, but this is always meant to be just the quiet part of the layout. Train rolls through all that scenery. And then through here, I can walk through here quite comfortably, and then it opens out a little bit, and that was my workbench, okay? But I've got this big space here. So what am I gonna do with it? Well, I'm thinking the idea of the loop here, I wanna keep, but I wanna reconfigure it, okay? Now, when I come back over to this part of the layout, as you can see, that join there, that's where it was chopped out of the old train room. But I had different restrictions in the old train room with space. So I want to reconfigure this area as well. Not that, I still like that little cool feature. I might tweak it or adjust it, but I do like it. I don't know whether I'll change it. I really don't want to, but I've said that in the past. But as I have this habit of running those stupidly long coal trains, as you can see one up there, what I thought I could do for operating sessions, if I actually had this here and this line there hook up, right? And then I can run them through here, get rid of these turnouts here, and then they can ladder back down out onto the main. I can stage empties there, take them up, fill them, bring them back down, take up the other half, fill it and bring it back down. So I'm not necessarily trying to run stupidly long trains the whole time. And it's just, you know, a cool little extra feature. So that's what I'm thinking of doing there. But here, okay, basically I'm thinking of extending the benchwork out a lot more, okay? Just to utilize a bit of this empty space. Now, I've set up this cool thing ages ago. My most viewed video on all of YouTube for me was when I showed you guys this setup that I had for the grain elevators, okay? Well, I was thinking to myself, if I actually brought that out a lot more here, even a bit more up that way, I could transplant that idea over to here and make it a bit bigger, okay? And I can run some longer grain trains. So that's my little grain train in there at the moment. When I say little, it's still pretty long. So yeah, what do you guys think? Yeah, personally, I'm quite keen on the idea of realigning the track in through there to have that staging to take up to the coal tipple. as for making this area a bit bigger, I mean, the principle will still be the same. I'll still have it set up as a reverse loop. But yeah, I can tweak things like bring the turnout in there, bring it out, and then I can have just so much more room in here. And I can still, like, I've got so much space to play with there. I feel it's kind of a little bit wasted. All right. So another consideration though is I've always tried to have it so I can reach the back of my layout if I have to. So I've got to think about just doing it practically. Practically? Yeah. Anyway, so that's an idea of that one. Sorry about the ramble, but I hope you're still with me. And so what I've been trying to do lately is I'm trying to tune decoders and tune locos so they run well together. So I've got those guys running well together. I've got the scale trains on my coal train working really well together. And so I'm going through trying to do a bit of that. What else have I got? Yeah, that big long intermodal that I was running, that was my 3 Katos running together. Yeah, so I've been trying to spend a lot of time just getting my locos working properly. And it seems to be paying off. Oh, crikey. All right, everyone. So that's the update for this month. So yeah, that's, I guess, one of the reasons why I haven't given you guys a layout plan yet, because the layout plan is in my head, nowhere else, and it's kind of evolving. I've tried to save as much of my old layout and to put it into the new layout room, but pretty much once I reconfigure that, the only bits that will be left as is out of the old layout room will be my coal industry from that corner that it kicks around, and the peninsula. Yeah, I was trying to be a bit sentimental and don't want to waste things that have already been built, but just making the most of the area that I have. And now that I've got my head around that, I'm looking down there and just thinking about how much better I could make that area of my layout. So, and I love building. I love constructing little bits and bobs and figuring it out. So, all right. Now, someone did comment on my rail fanning, my coal drag, about the configuration of my locos. I am far and away no expert on how things are done prototypically. I like trains, I like watching trains, I like running model trains, but I'm not that all over it when it comes to how things are done in the real world. But basically, that coal drag of mine, I've set it up in such a way that it works and I can run it around my layout pretty much faultlessly. So that's why I run the configuration that I have. It just works the way it is. It might not be done correct to the prototype, but that's how it works for me. All right, so I'm pretty proud of it. 36 coal wagons around up and down grades on this little layout in N scale. I'm pretty happy with it anyway. So, righto. That's not saying the feedback wasn't welcome, but that's what all I'm saying. I hope you guys are doing well. There's some guys I haven't heard from in the comments for a while. I hope if you are watching and you just haven't commented for a while that you're doing well as well. And yeah, watch this space. I reckon the next time I do an update, there might be a big hole in the bench work. And as Kramer said in Seinfeld, levels. There's another clue to what I'm thinking. Righto. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you again. Cheers.